Hi, this is William McKissock with Schoolie Mitchell, your expense reduction consultant. And as you know, at Schoolie Mitchell, and on a personal level, if you watch my videos a lot, I love to promote and help other businesses get some shining light on them and let people see who they are on social media. And today I have with me Brad Morrow, who's an insurance advisor with Shepherd Insurance. Welcome to the show, Brad.
Thanks, William. Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Before we get into what you and Shepherd Insurance does, give us a little bit of a background as to who Brad is and what brought you to where you are right now working with Shepherd Insurance.
Pretty long road. So my first life, I followed in my dad's footsteps and went into the PGA of America. I got my PGA card, was a golf professional for over 21 years, did multiple facilities, had been through a couple facilities in Indiana, and then that took me to Louisville, Kentucky, and spent 11 years there in the golf business. And that's where I had made the pivot and gotten out. And one of my former assistants had gotten out well before me and had come to me to mentor him on, hey, this guy Dave Shepard is chasing me and wants me to sell for him. He's Mr. Basketball in Indiana in 1970, and you meet him for 5 minutes and you're ready to run through the wall for him. And I'm like, man. And so as you're just having a conversation with somebody that you care about, you're hearing him say it, and you're like, man, first and foremost, you're a great young man, and you're good at anything you're going to do. And I think this sounds like a heck of an opportunity. I think you should do it. And so 2 years goes by, and then he comes to me and he's like, hey, we insure more truck dealerships than anybody in the country, and they need me to be on that team. I'm going to be one of three agents. He said, I'm set up now. I'm on the track that if I do the right things, I could be one day I could be partner at Shepherd Insurance. I'm like, see, of course, good things are going to happen to you. You are an absolute tremendous person. That's how this goes.
Right.
Well, then when the golf thing kind of started to turn sour for me, I told him I'm going to sit down. We're going to have lunch. I need to tell you something. And I decided to tell him at that time, hey, I'm going to stop being a golf pro. And he's like, oh, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I'm not sure yet. And he's like, can I call Dave? And I'm like, I think that's probably why we're having lunch, Jason. And so they came to me. They drove from Indianapolis to Louisville and sat down and had an interview with me. And after we did the niceties, it was actually his son, Quinn, who was about to become CEO. And his right hand man was Jeff Quetter, who's now the president of the company. And those two had just sat down with me. I said, hey, this is going to be real simple. You can hire a kid out of college that's going to know way more about insurance than me. But I bet you he'll fight me for my Rolodex. President of the company reached across the table right there. And he's like, you're hired.
Nice.
Yep.
So that's how you ended up with Shepherd Insurance. What a story.
Yeah. Yep.
So you mentioned like trucking dealerships there. As an insurance company, is that the main focus in trucking dealerships or dealerships in general? Or do you guys do the whole gambit of insurance, but this is your
We
speciality?
we have definitely expanded into several different niches. That was the one that really allowed Shepherd to expand and to then start the whole mergers and acquisitions and get others that we say there's so many great people in the world once you meet them. It's like, when I met you and got to hear you start talking about what you did, that's how we kind of do that same thing. And so our mergers and acquisitions teams is taking on the smaller agencies that may not have the exact succession plan, but they want to scale, they want to have the size. And so that's how they join us. And then all of a sudden we picked up Tom and Jeff Johnson, who had a race team book of business. So we were insuring NASCAR and people that had a lot of good, disposable income that wanted to race cars. And
Yeah.
so we had that. And just through all these different groups joining us, we've built several different niches throughout different sides of the industries, you name it. We've got an entire benefits team. We do very big private client personal lines. So the different agencies that we've taken on have a lot of people that are on all the islands that you and I know very well down here in Florida. And so we insure some big time, personal structures and some it's just that's how we've grown and kind of keeping everybody in that take care of you one on one. But now that we have size and scale, we can use that to our advantage to help the client with having different carrier relationships and having all of them available that would need to be available, and then having the amount of money with them that then leverage can play in helping us secure the best premiums for each and every client.
Fantastic. So, in your role, in your advisory role, is there any specialty area that you work in personally? It's great that the company, I can hear that they've expanded through acquisition into lots of different specialities, and that's normal for insurance companies. They have specialist teams for each of the categories. That's like us at Scully Mitchell, we've got specialist teams for the categories that we would monitor and look for expense reduction. So, what area, what category do you operate in personally?
I have kind of three areas that kind of draw me in, and we really give that a lot of focus. It's not just a singular, but obviously with my background, the golf and the country club type has been a very easy conversation for me. I can go in, whether it's a board of directors or a single owner, and I'm able to really tell them like, hey, I know your business. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't take me anywhere on the property that I don't know what it is, where it goes, what it's supposed to do, how it runs. And that's very beneficial for what we do when we're trying to get ahead of somebody having a risk. I feel like that really helps me because I can see that stuff. I know what it was. I know how you did it. The restaurant business, we are really rapidly growing. We're the only agency in the state of Florida that is endorsed by the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association. So we have a really good relationship with them. The knowledge base that we have that really helps restaurant owners and restaurant groups has been very big. And then the third one is the Sarasota area manufacturers. So that
Right.
manufacturing piece is one that we really have the right people in place that can jump in and help them.
Yeah, so you guys, is the company Florida based? Are you, is it just you that's Florida based? How does the company operate out of Florida, and do you operate nationally across the United States?
Yep. So home base is Carmel, Indiana, so north side of Indianapolis. And then as they expanded, obviously they just grew all through Indiana. And then they had brought on Florida through the office that I work out of now, which is in Sarasota, and it was at that time the Alpramort Insurance Agency.
Right.
And so Alpramort had joined Shepherd, and then through that, now we've brought on other teams from Port Charlotte to Inglewood to Naples. We've got the Besnard Group up in Tampa that joined Shepherd, and so we that's how Florida is. We've got Arizona. We were obviously in Louisville, Kentucky, where I had left to transfer to here. So, we're in 7 states, 700 employees, multitude of offices, and we write in all 50 states. So it's
Yeah.
not necessarily where we have an office, but where those folks might need our expertise, like the
Mhm.
truck team.
Yeah, no, you're well spread out from an office perspective, and it makes sense that you guys would operate across all 50 states in the country. So, kind of as a final thought, what does a kind of typical client look like for you? You mentioned golf courses and restaurants. So, what does a day in the life of you working with a client look like?
That's a good one. It depends on where we're at and in the cycle. Whether it's building the relationship early to gain their trust.
Hmm.
That's a big one for me. Is I'm not that transactional type of person. All my years in golf, I really feel like that was 100% relationship. How did
Yeah.
you treat people? Were you there and offering the best service when somebody was, wanting to be at the club? So I kind of extend that to what I'm doing in insurance, and it's about the client. What do you need? As we said in our meeting where I met you, I just sat in the room and let everybody else talk, and I like that because I'm trying to gather. What is it that
Yeah.
they need? How can I help them? Me doing this type of the interview, this really isn't really helping when I'm doing what I'm doing in insurance, because I'm going to flip the script and have you do the talking. I need you to tell me what's going on, what
Yeah.
keeps you up at night. And that's really when we get where we're at with the client, because then we're at able to ask the specific question. Where can I take that conversation that then I'm going to be able to gather what's needed? And then through the process, like I had one of my clubs, they renew in November. But I was there last week, just sitting down with the team. The golf course is closed. They're in renovation mode, or, doing whatever to the golf course that needs done. So there's no members around. And I got to spend time with the team and just, hey, where are we at? What are we doing? What do we need? And then we talked about some of the things in their benefits plan and where are we at with that. And then we were talking about some of the stuff in their flood. And we talked about some of the stuff with, their directors and officers. And what did the club members that are board members, how do they feel about this? And have they seen this on the radar? And so just letting them talk, I was able to write 2 pages of notes, take it back to my team and say, okay, here's where my conversation went. And then just like a point guard in basketball, where do I pass the basketball to run that play? So I sent the benefits team their notes. I sent my account coordinators their notes. This is what the conversation was. This is what's driving. And then we go from there. So it really depends on where I'm at in the cycle.
So really, you are a problem solver by sitting, listening, taking notes, and then delivering your product and services that absolutely fits the business's need. Tremendous. If you're watching this video, you can reach Brad at his portion of the video. You'll see his details are underneath there. You'll get his email address. Reach out to him. You can see he's a caring guy. He genuinely believes in what he's doing, and he lives the dream. He does it. He actually does what he says on the tin, as it were. So, Brad, thank you very much for coming onto the show. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's nice to speak to somebody who genuinely, you can see the passion. You can see that where you're coming from. You absolutely want to help people. It's not just about making money and selling a service. You can see that you're genuine in what you're saying.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep. It's hard to be genuine if you really don't live it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, Brad. It's been lovely to have you.
Thank you.
I'll now hand it over to Dave for the weather.